Hi, everyone. If you missed today's live session, we went through this activity summary board. This is the class copy, which will be available to you on Google Classroom, and you're going to have your own copies, but we did not work in our individual copies today. Each time we finish an investigation, we're going to come back together as a class, and during those live sessions, we're going to have some science talk and discuss what should be going in each portion of this chart. So for example, you'll see that we had 1A. That was the name of the activity we did last week. What we did was we made slime or oobleck. And then we had some discussion, and this was a really hard one. It's one of the first major lessons about matter, and also applying that to slime was challenging. So we needed a little guidance from me, but they did well after thinking about it. And so what we discovered is what we learned from this is we had our solid and liquids, right? We had the borax powder and the water and the glue. We weighed those to begin with. We mixed them together and it created a new substance. So one thing we learned was that when you mix certain things, you can create something new. That doesn't always work, but it did work this time. We also learned that afterwards we weighed the slime in the baggie and we realized that the borax solution, glue, and water, which were weighed prior to mixing, if you added them all up, weighed less than 2 grams heavier than the bag of slime. But those 2 grams, remember I showed you the little brass weights there? It's really insignificant, and we can explain where those 2 grams went. They were there was some slime left on the craft stick, and then there was also a little bit of glue left in the cup because it's impossible to get all of the glue particles out. So essentially, the weight of the stuff, the matter, the 3 different materials prior to mixing weighed just about the same as the slime after it created the new substance. They weighed the same. That tells us that matter cannot disappear or just appear. Everything was still there, even though a new substance was created. We didn't lose any material and we didn't gain any new material or matter. And then the connection to our mystery substances was that we needed to figure out if I want to identify what substance is in these test tubes, I'm going to use whatever investigation we did to try and find that connection. So what we decided was I could pour out some of this substance into glue. If it makes slime, then this is borax solution. If I pour out this other test tube into glue and it makes watered down glue, then this must be water. So what we were discussing was if you mix the stuff in the test tubes, the substances, into things that we already have experience with, we may be able to identify what the substances are. We also talked about weighing, which is a more difficult thing to understand at this point because you don't know as much about density. So different substances have different densities, which also can affect their weight. And if we were able to weigh what is inside the test tubes, we may be able to identify what those substances are based on their weight. So those are things that we discussed. The models in progress will be the opportunity, which we did not do today, in the future for you in a small group to create a Jamboard. Now, in the past, we've used Jamboards for sticky notes and text, but we're going to also be able to use the drawing feature and draw models of the science behind what's happening in our investigations and collaborate together. And then as a class, we'll decide which one was the best model, and we'll link that Jamboard here in Models in Progress. In your own copy, I may have you link your own initial model in the Models in Progress for each of these investigations when a model is necessary. All right, look forward to our next session together. Have a great day.